We are live. We are live, Faye. We are live right here on flynubianqueen.com. So we at 0 right now. We're going to let a few more people come in. Come on in. Grab your seat. Come on in. I'm here right now with Faye Bishop. We just going to let them continue to come in before I give them the breakdown.
Hi, everybody.
Right. They're coming in. Welcome to flynubianqueen.com. Welcome to flynubianqueen.com. You know, this is the network for melanated people like you, created with you in mind, producing the content each and every time, okay, for Black and brown folk. Let me know where you're from. I'm from Chicago, born and raised. I'm Madam President, always with a Z. And I'm here with Faye Bishop. She is the queen. She is a real estate guru. She's a marketing magician. She just got a lot of
and author of Make Money Make Sense, available at Amazon.com. It is about how to start your blog in 5 minutes or less and monetize.
Yes. See, this is what I'm talking about. Okay. This kind of sister right here will let you know. She is the epitome of a queen. All right. So, Faye.
Yes.
I want you to repeat yourself so people who just now come into the room can know exactly who you are and what you stand for.
I am Faye Bishop. Again, I am author of Make Money Make Sense, a book on how to monetize and start a blog in 5 minutes or less. It's more of an instructional manual, so to speak. I am also a mom. I am a Philadelphia native, and I am a small business owner, in the business for about 17 years. I have a laundromat. I also, I've been in real estate working wholesale primarily for about 14 years. And also I freelance as a writer. So you can Google me and all that stuff, you guys.
Absolutely. Right here. Come on, Faye. I really appreciate you joining me today.
Absolutely.
So, I know, I'm not sure, but we all was kind of just completely just turned away all over America from the presidential debate. That was the craziest experience that we've had in a very level of presidential anything in a very long time. So I want to know, did you get a chance to catch the debate?
I absolutely did. And, you know, it was a disappointment for me. Not even just for both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And I blame that primarily on the moderator. I felt like he came in already with his bias, kind of inferring that more than, you know, taking that time to use it as a way to get the candidates to talk about why we should vote for, you know, to go into the policy. He kind of moderated it as if it was an Atlanta Housewives reunion.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm like, who is this? Andy Cohen or is it Chris Wallace? You know?
Chris Wallace, definitely. I don't think he did a good job.
No, he didn't.
But I don't think he did a good job, you know, so that they could lay out the policy. I'm not going to stay on it too long because there's so many other things that we have got to talk about. But I want to know, I know you got a chance to basically see that Donald Trump only paid $750 in taxes this year. And I just want to before you say anything, I just want to say that in 2017, Joe Biden paid $3,742,974 in taxes. Kamala paid $516,469 in taxes. Bernie Sanders paid $343,882. Elizabeth Warren, $268,484. Donald Trump, $750. I think everybody in America was saying that there aren't even teachers who walk away with paying $750 a year in taxes. So did Donald Trump beat the system, or this is just what it is as a businessman?
I think he played it as a businessman. Honestly, I always tell people, if you feel like you're overpaying in taxes, get a new CPA.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We also have to keep in mind that during the year, 2016 and 2017, Donald Trump also did not collect the salary as president. Okay, so his write-offs are different. His write-offs pertain apparently mostly to his business and the amount of money he makes from that. So of course, you calculate losses versus the earnings, and it plays a role in everything. But I think a lot of people are, I won't say judging it unfairly, but I think we're looking at it through this lens where, well, we're all paying taxes and we all have to pay a lot of taxes, so he should too. Well, firstly, not all of us pay a lot of taxes. One year, if I may admit this out loud, and again, I've been a small business owner for about 16, 17 years. I paid $1,750.
Nice.
I know what to do. So, get a new CPA. Make sure your CPA is working for you. And you have to understand what it is you're writing off. You have to understand how deductions work. I think a lot of people are using their TurboTax H&R Block mentality, and what that representative that sits across from them is tallying up and trying to use that and make a comparison to Donald Trump's, high paid accountant. It's not the same.
Okay.
Now, sorry, go ahead. You were
I was going to say, I agree.
Do I think he $750 is fair? No, it's not. But again, it depends on the lens that you're looking at it through. Are you looking at it as, well, he's the president, so he gets president money, and he gets this money, and he gets that money, forgetting that technically for 2 years he went without a salary. He did not get paid. So I think a lot of people forgot all about that. I can tell by the feeds, through the feeds that they have. Like, he didn't make a salary. Everybody forget that he decided to opt out of that. Because he is a billionaire and because he is a rich man.
Yeah, he is a very rich man. But there's something else too that I noticed about wealthy people and poor people. And one of the things that I noticed that the poor people and wealthy people have in common is poor people, or sometimes cheap people, I would say, like to keep their money, and so does the wealthy.
Yeah.
Because one thing for sure is, if Donald Trump and men like him, if they don't have to give out any money, they won't.
No.
They're using their money and thinking, hey, I need to be productive in society and pay, I got to pay back $300,000 in taxes this year so that I could be upstanding and noble. Donald Trump don't give a damn about being noble, okay?
And guess who else don't give a damn? Jeff Bezos. He paid nothing 1 year. Nothing. I believe it was that. What was it, last year for 2018? He paid zero in taxes.
Zero.
I think he's 1 million shy of being worth a gazillion dollars. I know he is now richer than Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg.
Really?
So, yeah. Yeah. So Jeff Bezos paid zero, and mind you, that's just Jeff Bezos. Imagine what the Waltons pay. The Waltons are, the family. The Walmart family empire. Imagine what the Rothschilds pay. Imagine what a lot of those Wall Street CEOs pays, and the CEO of JP Morgan and all of those companies. I think it's popular to dislike Donald Trump. It's popular to hate Donald Trump with good reason, But I think it's very important to understand the facts about tax law. I think if anything, this situation should definitely bring attention to why it's so important to want to know tax law and to understand tax law, because again, you could be overpaying your CPA.
And also too, it just really feels like, and I'm just going to speak from a regular civilian standpoint, but what we noticed when that headline went out saying that Donald Trump didn't pay anything for $750, it seemed as if, that the little person in this country is basically constantly being ruined, taken advantage of. You got single mothers, you have people that are teachers and librarians, and so many people in this country, people who work in fast food, people who work for Walmart, who really just cannot afford, or I won't say affordability, we'll just say the access to resources that allows them to beat a system. I think about Warren Hill, I think about Wesley Snipes. Those people went to prison for not paying taxes or for something related to taxes, but it seemed as if they would have had access to Donald Trump's CPA, then they could have probably got away with a good deal.
Exactly. Which is why you should hire a good CPA. And like I said, I noticed on the feeds, since you brought up the little guy and the little person and the single mom and the fast food worker and kind of the people who, we feel like are being taxed the most. If you notice, they were the people who got most upset. We didn't hear from the wealthy. I heard not, you heard not, and I don't know anybody in the chat room can vouch for this. Name me one wealthy person who is not Democrat or Republican and currently running for public office right now that sat there and complained. You're not going to find them.
Exactly. I totally get it.
They were like, I'm sick of that because they don't want to know what I paid. So
exactly. Jeff Bezos probably like, I paid $100. I ain't been paying taxes in the last.
Exactly.
Yes. They had a whole thing about him and Amazon too, basically just knowing how to beat the system. And I think that we all should get equipped to the system. And if you want to get equipped to the system, I believe you are a woman about your business. So you need to check out flynubianbusiness.com. And if you are a woman about your bag, you need to check out flynubianmoney.com. So do me a favor right now. Y'all need to just like, and share. Let everybody know this is where you at on a Friday evening. It's 6:30 Eastern time. Let everybody know that you are right here with the Faye Bishop and Madam President with a Z, okay? And don't forget, if you want some fly gear, go to shopfnq.com. I'm sorry, guys, shopfnq.com. And text the word Queens. I know I got you guys doing a lot. I'm sure you're smart, intelligent Black people. You can multitask.
And if you want to know a little bit about money, I know a little something. So you can head over to the FayeBishopReport.com too. I talk a lot about squatters law and real estate and how you can actually employ your own children and pay less taxes. Ooh. A lot of people don't know that.
Exactly. I like that concept 110%. I don't have any children to pay, but I think that's a good idea.
Yes, tax arbitrage. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Also, too, text the word Queens 31996. Text the word Queens to 31996. There's something else that was very intriguing by a sister. She is a rapper. And her name is, I think she's one of the City Girls, or I believe one of the City Girls. It's a rap group. And she says, she wrote a tweet recently. She said, as a felon, I feel our votes should still count. I mean, I do still live here in America and pay taxes as well, which I thought was a really good point. So, like, if you're a felon, you can't vote, but she's saying, hey, I pay taxes. I should be able to vote. And I want to know, do you agree?
I absolutely positively agree. I feel as though if you are a tax-paying citizen of America, emphasis on citizen, tax-paying citizen, regardless of whether or not you have any prior record or have any prior convictions, or even if you don't, you pay taxes, you absolutely should have the right to vote. Absolutely.
I totally agree. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree. If you pay taxes, there's no reason that you should not be voting. You are a part of this ecosystem and you are invited to the polls as much as anyone else. Yep. And I really get tired of all of these rules, anyway. That doesn't, that just really just seems to just be a little bit unfair and unjust. A person who gets arrested for whatever reason, it doesn't mean that they are removed from society. You keep them in society, you keep them active, and you keep them, you recover. Once right. They like, how long you got to pay for a crime if you out of jail?
Especially when it defeats the whole purpose of rehabilitation, which is the point of prison, or at least it should have been. Exactly. The point of going to prison is about rehabilitation, is it not? So you come home rehabilitated and you go back out into society and you work and you pay taxes and you live and you spend money and you contribute to this capitalist society. You absolutely should have the right to vote.
Absolutely. And if you guys know anybody that's in jail right now, just hit the lights up button, because I believe that we all know people that have experienced this system, you know, who've been victims of this system. Like, come in and share. You guys come on in. I'm sitting right here with the Faye Bishop. We with you guys here on Fly Nubian Queen on a Friday night. Okay, yes. We love to be with you and kick the noise. Also, Donald Trump and COVID-19. Donald Trump and his wife, Melania Trump. That's when I see the two of them, number one, I just instantly think of the Addams Family. Like I be like, oh my God, crazy folks. They like the Addams Family to me, you know. But the reality is, you know, Donald Trump supposedly tested positive for COVID-19. So I'm really trying to understand, I want to know, do you believe they tested positive, or do you believe this is a hoax or some kind of mechanism to gain sympathy for his horrible debate?
It's so interesting that you asked that question. And the reason I say that is because, you know, the debate took place right on the heels of the big tax story. And because the debates went so poorly, here we are, 5 days later, and bam, positive for COVID-19. So it's just been one thing after the other in less than maybe a 7-day span. Personally, for me, I'm on the fence, only because I feel like Donald Trump is very crafty. I think too many people underestimate him. I think a lot of people think that man is stupid, which I don't understand how you could think that, because you do not get to that level, you know, where you are able to acquire the highest office in the land being stupid. You know, I was speaking to a friend of mine today who was like, well, it's cause for concern if he's sick and all of this stuff. And I'm like, well, yeah, I can understand that side of it. But also, he could also be basically trying to prove a point as well. You know, she's like, well, what if he gets sick, and what if Pence has to be our president? I said, well, look at it this way. What if his whole point with this is to prove that drug, hydroxychloroquine, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, forgive me, and, you know, everyone, if I am, actually works, and that there's nothing to be afraid of with COVID. What if that's the point that he's trying to prove? You know, 14-day quarantine. You know, he just walked across I just got a text message that he just walked across the White House lawn, seemingly fine. Wow. You know, I believe there's something else very sinister going on here. I'm not exactly sure what it is. What I do feel, and I'm only saying this part because I noticed everybody acted like they were celebrating on the feeds today. I don't know if they feel like this is some sort of moral payback, you know, because he called it a hoax early on, and that we've lost over 200,000 lives due to COVID, or what it is. One of the things that I think everybody should be deeply concerned about is him testing positive, him and Melania testing positive for COVID-19. What does that mean for you? Donald Trump is a billionaire. He's going to be okay. But what do you think this would mean for you and your family? How do you think this is going to affect the economy any further? You know what I mean? Not just in terms of the election, you know, because we know that that's possibly one of the rumors as to why this news came out. Everybody's concerned, oh, he's trying to get sympathy, the election. My concern is the economy. What would this mean? What are the ramifications for the rest of us? Because if you're already on unemployment right now, due to everything that's gone on in the past 7 months, if you're underemployed, if you have already blown through about 60% of your savings, you shouldn't be celebrating, dear, especially if the goal with this is to shut us down again and lock us down again. Can we really afford that? Is that what you really want? And I think that everybody should think about that over the next couple of days, at least until we find out more information about what this is all about. I personally don't think we can survive another lockdown, shutdown for another, 4 months we were locked down?
I mean, even longer. You know, some places, you already know, some places completely furloughed. furloughed and never reopened. Some places, you know,
A
they
lot
just
of businesses destroyed and
Mhm.
can't come back.
They
One
will.
in 6 Black businesses are gone forever. Can we afford another shutdown lockdown? Just
That's a
think
good
of this. What do
thing.
the ramifications behind Trump's diagnosis means for me and my family? Should
Mm.
I be celebrating if he gets sick and die? What would that mean for the economy? Those are the questions that I think that everybody should be asking right now. I know it's one of the questions that I thought of because I'm
Yeah.
like, let me make sure my money right.
Let's ask the audience, could we afford another shutdown right now? Everybody, let me know your answer. I'm going to put your answer up on the screen. Put your answer on the screen. I want to know, do you think we can afford another economic shutdown? Have you recovered from the current economic shutdown? But I want to know, do you think we recovered? Another question I have for you, Faith, is the vaccine. Some people believe that this is a ploy basically to roll out a vaccine that's going to be forced upon everyone. I don't know if they're conspiracy theorists or like it's a possibility, but I want to know your thoughts on that. What are your thoughts on vaccines? Are you open to vaccines? Do you feel like it's a ploy? COVID-19 coming from his office is a ploy?
um, all farmers, see, here's the thing with vaccines. And I noticed they said this the other night during the debates. It appears Big Pharma right now, various Big Pharma companies are all trying to roll out some sort of vaccine, their own version of it or whatever.
Okay.
There is a possibility, and this rolls back to that question, the ramifications. What does the ramifications mean for all of us? With this, it's possible that they can be trying to make the vaccine mandatory at this point, you know, almost like the pertussis vaccine and the, you know, all of those vaccines that you need to send your kids to school. Am I in favor of vaccines? It depends on the vaccine. I'm not familiar with all the vaccines that are out there. I know that there are hundreds of them,
Mm-hmm.
believe it or not, tested all over the world and being tested all over the world right now. I think they're even still testing the HIV vaccine that so many people have been waiting on for the past 35 years. I mean, but in terms of COVID-19, I definitely do feel that it is possible that they're trying to roll this out to make it mandatory, which again circles it back to what are the ramifications for the rest of us? Because I just personally don't think any of this is anything to celebrate. That's just me. I mean, you got people wishing for him to die and all of that. And I'm just like, wait. Before y'all start, you know, breaking out the confetti, think about what this is all going to mean for the rest of us. Now, would I take a COVID-19 vaccine? No, I would not.
Okay.
But if it's mandatory, what do I do? You know?
Yeah. You're like, I know I'm not volunteering, but I mean,
Yeah, like I guess we'll have to take the wait and see approach with that one.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I feel I'm not a mother, you know, so I think that sometimes as a mother, people have the tendency they have a lot to look out for. I'm like, nah, they're gonna have to lock me up, throw away the key. I'm not for it. You know, I don't have anyone like I don't have children like relying on me to show up, you know.
Right.
So I feel like sometimes that leads my thought process, you know.
But you know, it's interesting you say this because I've never had a flu shot. I've never gotten a flu shot, and I've never had the flu. I've had pneumonia before.
Okay.
No joke.
No joke.
I'm asthmatic. But I've never gotten the flu shot, and ironically, I've never had the flu. I nor myself nor my son, we don't ever do the flu shot. It's not mandatory. So if they make it, you know, as in, well, the vaccine is available, but it's available and it's optional, just like the flu shot is optional, then no.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. But if it's going to be mandatory, that's the question that I think we all should be asking and wondering about right now.
Okay. Yeah, I think so too. Thank you guys for coming on in. Come on, like, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. I want you to text the word Queens. Pull out your phone. You're not texting Bay. You're about to text the word Queens to 31996. Text the word Queens to 31996. If you are about your money, then go ahead and go to flynubianmoney.com, because I know you about your bag. But if you about your business, then go to flynubianbusiness.com. And if you want to get some gear, go to shopfnq.com. All right. Also, too, I'm the owner of the Freedom Company. Go ahead and check us out on Instagram, as well as our website, which is the freedom.company. It's very easy, the freedom.company. But I'm going to take a pivot because, talking about Trump as well as Melania and COVID-19 could be very draining. When you think about the current state.
There's been so much news with him all week. Every 48 hours, there's been a rollout of a story with him.
Absolutely. And there's a story that I want to share with you. It's about a Black woman. I think this is your arena because you are a dope Black woman. And I know that you help Black women kind of improve, get to the level that they need to get to. So I was very interested when I heard about Nene Leakes. She basically had a falling out with the TV, I think the producers over at Bravo. But the guy, Andy, who's over Bravo and over the Atlanta Housewives, he's been pretty much, friends with Nene for a very long time. And I want to share with you, basically, she decided not to take the offer, not to take the offer that was being offered to her for this year, for this season. So because she didn't take the offer, the show went on without her. And that's what happens all the time in life. Black women build things up and then they pretty much, kick you out and say, well, this show will go on without you. Right. So she basically had a comment just saying that she believed that what was being offered wasn't fair. And what concerns me is, I'm not a fan of Atlanta Housewives because I just don't watch it. I don't find it appealing or interesting. And that's not my vibration,
Gotcha. I'm in agreement. I don't either.
Yeah. But what I will say is whenever I hear Black women not receiving the adequate pay, I'm always present in that conversation because, Black women are the highest educated and the least compensated in this country. There isn't in the words of Angela Davis, the Black woman has been a part of every job that has been established in this country. When Black men were out there picking cotton, Black women were out there too picking cotton. She said the workload, this is from Angela Davis, she said the workload did not lessen because she was woman. And that's right. Hey, look, let me tell you. So that's the thing. I'm very passionate about that conversation when it comes to Black women receiving the just due. So even if it's the sister that I don't particularly agree with, even if it's a sister that is having, even if it's a sister that's, we're just different, I still want her to be properly compensated. So my question to you is, basically, should Nene, because also in the blog she mentioned, I'm going to read this quickly to you. She mentioned in the blog that she was hoping for some kind of reconciliation. She says, she's talking about Andy right here in quotes, quote, again, I consider him to be like family. Families argue, families fight, families come back together. I have nothing but love for him. And I'm certain that we will talk. We just text right after that happened. And basically, there's been nothing from his response where Nene Leakes is basically saying, hey, I thought this relationship with Andy was on a family front. But what happens with us all the time is, work relationships, there's a falsehood attached to family. We ain't family.
No, we're not.
This is a working relationship.
That's right. Business, never personal.
Exactly. And when the work stops, unfortunately, the relationship stops too. So Andy is saying, if you ain't bringing me no money, we ain't got to text no more. We ain't got to hee ha ha. But here's the thing about Black people. Black people, and I'm about to give you the floor because I feel like I'm preaching.
No, baby, you good.
But the thing about Black people is, Black people, we have a connection. We're very relational. So like we're sisterly and brotherly. So that's why when we connect with people, we connect with people. But white people, from my experience and from what, the establishment in which America is kind of engulfed upon, they're not disconnected. They're not connected in the family front like we are. That's why that's why he's able to sit with her, laugh with her, make millions of dollars on her and not return her phone calls. Because they can do that. But exactly, we do not have that in our DNA most times. And I give you the floor because I just want to know, Black women like Nene, what advice do you give to her and how to handle this and move forward?
One of the things that I think is very important for our people to understand, and that is the art of negotiation. I learned that way back when I was in college, the art of the negotiation. And one of the most important things you have to learn and what goes down during the art of negotiation is whiffums. What's in it for me?
Okay.
That's what it all boils down to. What's in it for me? This is business. This isn't personal. And I feel like that's where a lot of us make this mistake. We tend to rule with emotion, instead of logic, and instead of our personal interests. We do this even with elections and in politics. Most of us treat it like an American Idol contest.
Right.
With emotions. Is he or she likable? Do they like Black people? Versus going with policy. And what does policy pertain to? Our personal interests, which is what it's all about. And we have to understand that goes down in business too. What's in it for me? It's a whiffum. I learned that. I will never forget it. I was working for Sears Roebuck and Company at the time. And they out of business. So that's going to give you a little bit. I'm telling my age right there. Years and years and years and years ago. And I this was the corporate side. I wasn't no store employee. This was the corporate side. What's in it for me? Learn the whiffum. You can even Google it. And that's very important, when it comes to the negotiating table. And Nene has brought a lot to the Bravo Network. Nene is actually the reason that the Atlanta Housewives franchise blew up the way it did.
Yes, everyone
think what y'all want about that woman. I have my personal opinions about her myself, just as a person. I think she's just a little too much for me sometimes. But the woman is entertaining. She's funny, and she is the reason. She is. You feel whatever you want to feel. She is the reason that franchise blew up and was able to have spinoff after spinoff after spinoff. So I think it's so important that for her, understand the art of negotiation. You have to. I hate to bring Donald Trump into this. I really do. But he wrote a book called The Art of the Deal. Many people may not want to purchase it because they hate Donald Trump, and that's fine for you. But you have to master these things and understand it's all about your personal interests. And then we can laugh and talk and, exchange tea and, have girl talk and brush each other's hair and whatever that case, because I think it's a shame. Right. Andy Cohen, much like a lot of producers, the producers over at VH1, who I'm not going to name, and so many others, they're making a lot of money hand over fist off of a lot of Black people. Yeah. And what they pay these people is pennies by comparison into what the networks make in ad revenue. Wow. I'm telling you this as someone who knows people who works behind the scenes, particularly on the VH1 side. They pay these people pennies. Yes, even the contract stars. They get paid, by somebody who's poor. They probably are, hood rich or whatever. Right. By that standard, to somebody's poor, $250,000 for the season, for, a reality star seems like a lot of money, but is it really? You got people that are actors on Grey's Anatomy and NBC's Law and Order that are banking $250,000 per episode. Ooh, $500,000 per episode, not per season, per episode. So these reality stars are not making as much money as we'd like to think, and the networks are making bank.
Absolutely.
You have to make sure you get your fair due.
You can do. Hey guys, I'm here with V. Faye Bishop. She is a magnificent queen, and we've been talking for the last 30 minutes. This concludes our section, but I just want to tell you guys that it's always a pleasure to sit with Faye because she has just a river of knowledge. Okay, it flows. I think you guys need to follow her on all aspects of social media. Faye, let them know where they can get your book, where they can meet you online, and where they can always catch you.
All right. So my book, Make Money Make Sense, is available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com, and wherever retail books are sold. It's available in Kindle, not paperback anymore. But you can download it to your Kindles. You can also follow me on Twitter at Miss MS Faye Bishop, and on Instagram at Faye Bishop, as well as Facebook Faye Bishop. And I think that pretty much concludes where you can reach me. Oh, and don't forget to check out the Faye Bishop report, because there's a lot more advice where it pertains to a lot of the topics we heard tonight, where it came from over there. So especially where it concerns finance and money.
Exactly. Faye she loaded. That's I know that a lot of these people, they're dignitarians. They're so nice like Faye. They're just modest about being loaded. No, I'm kidding. I'm being funny, but it's always good to see you, Faye. Guys,
absolutely.
Text the word Queens to 31996. Text the word Queens to 31996 before you go to bed. Make sure you check out Fly Nubian Money, because I know you want to be educated and fueled by people just like you, give you some business knowledge. Go to flynubianbusiness.com. And of course, for your best gear, go to shopfnq.com. Of course, for more gear, go to thefreedom.company. Again, thefreedom.company. It's always a pleasure to see you, Black people. We always wish you nothing but love, peace, and prosperity. And we'll check you guys out next time on Monday. And have a good weekend. We are out.
Great
Bye, guys.
Bye.